What's going on, people? So, got another little review to knock out real quick for the day. This one was supposed to have been done like a while ago with some other batch of recording or whatever. And then I saw these sitting on the floor and I was like, wait a second. Did I forget to do that one? Yeah, I did. Totally forgot to do it, right? So here we are now doing the... Either way, so side of the box down there real quick for you, right? Not a whole lot to take in, but it is what it is anyway. So now let's move on past that, get into this actual review, because I feel like since there's not a whole lot to do here, shouldn't be a whole lot of length to this one. We'll see what happens though. This right here is the Nike Air Max 1 Slide in the white and university red colorway. You already knew that though, because you're probably not blind. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start this thing with the bottom. Down there, what you're looking at is a pretty similar outsole to the Air Max 1. I can't think of how different it may or may not be because I haven't worn one in a while, but I've worn a lot in the past and it feels familiar, so there is that, right? Now, let's move along and look at the midsole, right? Which also should look pretty familiar. So, I mean, it does to me. What about you, right? Same style as you've often seen in the past. Got a little air bubble in the back there, right? Very cool design. I do like it, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, I'm going to give you some other shots here, right? Because, again, that's this portion of the video. I don't always see the reason to let these drag on so long, but it's a thing I've been doing, and I'm a creature of habit. So I'm just going to ride those on out, right? Let you guys look at these things for a second and think, maybe another color, maybe this color, maybe a different model. You know, you can let me know whatever you think down in the comments if you really care to. But either way, let's get going on into this thing, right? Now, since this is a new model to me, right? They're definitely not new for real though, because I've had these sitting here for like several months. I'm going to talk about some things. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but we're going to get through it real quick, right? So, and actually I need to bring these up because there's going to be some comparisons, right? That's why I have these Air Max 90s on my feet. So, down here, like what your foot sits on, right? This piece, the inside, on here it's going to be a nice flat sort of thing. It's pretty nice. It's kind of foamy feeling in a way, whereas this one felt like some sort of like some grate type of thing, you know, like a sewer grater or whatever you call it. So wasn't really thrilled about that, but I do like it over here. So that's a nice improvement in my personal opinion, if that means anything to you. So otherwise, that's mostly all that's going on in there. Now this over here piece, like the top piece, right? That's where some other differences kick in, and overall, I'll just tell you right now, this wins. Now, on the top, right, so you have the standard Nike Air Max thing. This one had a plasticky sort of logo. This one's kind of more just like a stitched on patch type of thing. And then past that, you've got some of this sort of suede-y type of feeling going on here. You got the stitched Nike swooshes happening right there. A little bit of mesh going on over here behind it as well, right? I know it's a lot of stuff that I'm saying, but you know, the pictures kind of all say the same thing. I just need to give you something to listen to. Maybe I could just put background music instead. But either way, so you kind of see it, right? You get what's going on up there. But let's look on the inside for just a moment here. So the one complaint that I had about these, the Air Max 90s, was that when you first bought them out of the box, this here padding thing was super freaking thick, right? I mean, it wears in over time, right? And then it eventually becomes a nice snug wear, and that's not too bad, right? But like the first bit was like, ooh, what is going on here, right? It's like no space, right? But this one, they didn't do that this time. You can slip right in here. Feels more like these do after they've been broken in, so I do like that piece of it. Otherwise, the material is largely going to be the same, so it's nothing different as far as what you feel. You just have more space in there off the top, which is a good thing, right? Because these, well, we'll get to the sizing in a minute, but just know that all those things together make these the better option in my opinion. But speaking of my opinion, let's talk a little bit more about that, huh? And I'll just basically say everything I just said, but drug out for about a minute and a half. Personally, these right here came out pretty nice in my opinion, right? I was not quite sure which color I wanted, but I figure I'll go with this one because it's like the one color that you often associate with, well, a lot of people often associate with the Air Max 1, which is strange in a way for me, who has a fair amount of Air Max 1s and not a single one of those standard colors. Either way, moving on. these, I got them and I was looking at them. I'm like, wow, these are really nice looking. They came out pretty good, and they've made some improvements on all the things that I didn't like about the 90s, right? So this is seeming like a good idea. Will I buy more than one is now the question, right? Because it's not uncommon for me to do that, and I do want more than one because I saw a navy blue sort of colorway not too long ago. But the thing is, I have a lot of slides, like a lot, right? So to buy another one would make very little sense. But I can't let that stop me now, can I? Right? Sometimes you just gotta do stuff you want to do, not stuff you should do. I think the whole world operates like that sometimes. But either way, so all in all, these right here, color-wise, everything about them is looking and feeling pretty nice. So I would suggest them. However, we're gonna have to talk about some sizing and all that stuff because maybe that might deter you, right? Spoiler alert, it will not. It will make you want them. But anyway, so let's go get on into that thing. But first, one thing that I will say, well, actually, I'll come back to it. We're going to do that sizing thing. Sizing wise, right? I bought these in a 9. Why did I not buy the 9.5 like I normally do on Air Max things? Well, these only come in whole sizes 9, 10, 11, so on and so forth, right? So the half thing, it's just not an option. So for me, every other time that I bought slides that are sized like that, I always just go down to the 9 and it works out. And this, no different. It worked out just fine, right? It's like the exact length I need. Things are working out for me, so yay that, right? Now, I was comparing these to the 90s earlier, right? And they're better. They are. The flat part on the inside feels better on your feet. The back end, just like walking around with the way the bubble is and all that good stuff, and maybe it's just because they have extra padding, that is also like significantly better. I'm not trying to sit here and like just slander the 90s or whatever, but if something is better, it's better, and these are better, right? It's just that simple, at least to me. Your opinion may vary or whatever, sure, whatever, do what you want, don't let me sway you. But you can also, maybe you also notice these do have a little bit more foam in the front end as well, right? Not just in the back end. So overall, every step you take is just going to feel a little bit better, and you're going to feel a bit taller in these, which is a thing that people often bring up for some odd reason. They're always, oh, how tall do these make you? What's the measurement? And I'm like, dude, go away, right? I'm not trying to do all this. Well, I don't say that. I just don't say anything. But as far as the inside goes, right, like I was saying before, out of the box, these feel a lot more comfortable than the 90s did because they don't feel so tight around the upper foot or whatever. So I do like that. They're broken in. They feel broken in right out of the box. So very cool. I can't say enough good things about these. But the one thing that could be an issue for some people might be the color selection, because I believe that it's not there, right? I think I've seen 3 colors or something. And it's not that they're bad. It's just that, like, if you already have a lot of this or you have a lot of black, then you may be like, well, I'll wait for something else to come along. But even with the 90 slides, like, they didn't really make a whole lot of those either, I don't think. But yeah, so I'm happy with the way these things came out, because I like my Air Max ones. Like, it's in my top 5 Air Max models. And I know I didn't really say like the nicest things in some ways about the 90s through this video, because, well, honestly, like, these are better, like I said. And really, the Air Max 90, it's just, I don't really care about it a whole lot, right? They've made some good colors, and I'll give them that. But ultimately, yeah, it's just kind of one of those ones that I don't think about. And even last year, Air Max month, right? Like, I wore a different Air Max model every day for that whole month, right? At least every day that I left the apartment. Not a single Air Max 90 through that whole thing, which was kind of crazy in a way, but I noticed it later, and I'm like, did I totally skip those? Was that intentional? I honestly don't remember because it was so long ago. Either way, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm now done recording things, so I guess it's time to get ready and go to work then. So yeah, later people.